I'm Gary, and this is Coasting with Culture. I like to combine theme park visits and riding roller coasters with various cultural experiences around the world. My time in Peru is coming to an end, and after getting to see the gorgeous mountain views, ancient ruins, and trying to ride as many roller coasters as I could find, I had one more afternoon to enjoy in the heart of Lima, seeing the beautiful cathedral that gave access to some unexpected areas. Then, there was one more opportunity to add to my coaster count before continuing to the next country. After spending a few days exploring Cusco, I had my flight back to Lima with some free time before the evening flight to continue to the next country of the South America trip. This would be my last flight with Sky Airline, who again could have done a better job cleaning their plane before bringing on new passengers. On a more humorous note, I got pretty close to my sleepy neighbor a few times during the flight. The bright side of this flight was getting to enjoy a scenic takeoff thanks to the city and the Andes Mountains. Before long, we were back to flying over the greater Lima area, and then over the Pacific Ocean to line up for landing.
I'm really glad to be done with that airline, and now I get to go and explore around Lima a little bit before taking off and heading on to the next country.
During the morning while waiting for my flight, I sent a message to Dino Park to ask about the status of their coaster so I could avoid making a third failed stop there. Unfortunately, they confirmed that the coaster was still closed. But not all was lost, as I could use the time to head to Plaza de Armas de Lima. As if there hadn't been enough cathedrals visited on this trip, there was another gorgeous one to see, this one being Catedral de Lima, which was completed in 1649. The sculptures and statues surrounding the main doorway are incredible, and the interior of the building featured beautiful ornamental pieces, including those on the pillars, ceiling, and that were part of the altar. What separated this cathedral from others was the level of access it gave visitors, such as an up-close and personal look at the altar. You could also really examine the choir stalls for their level of detail in the carving. There was plenty of artwork to appreciate in this building, although some of it was based on darker aspects of history, such as the Spanish conquest of Peru. Even more incredible carvings are placed along the aisles and across from some incredibly grand altars. One of the altars brought a different kind of memory to mind when I saw it.
Not gonna lie, the first thing I thought when I saw this painting on the bottom here, Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
While these altars offer some exquisite detail, some help to give insight into the cathedral itself, such as this one that sits above an opening with a window that looks into one of the cathedral's tombs. As part of the aforementioned access this cathedral offers, you can go into one of the tombs of the cathedral to learn more about how burials were conducted in these chambers.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit creepy knowing that dead bodies were kept in these chambers here, and considering the tight spaces to get out. Whew.
Additional tombs can be accessed near the altar. This is where some of the more prominent individuals are laid to rest, including the former Archbishop of Lima, Augusto Vargas Alzamora. There were a few mysterious aspects of this chamber, such as the pit with what looked like a collection of coffins, and the collection of skulls that gave a sort of catacombs feel to it. But if that isn't your kind of thing, and you prefer to enjoy artwork, there's even more of it on display in the attached museum, along with a selection of artifacts from those who served in this cathedral.
You know, what really makes this cathedral stand out is the way that you get to see all the incredible artwork, and then on top of that, you actually get to explore into the tombs, and that's really bizarre and kind of morbid in a way, but for those who are really curious about those kinds of things, are really into that kind of stuff, they've got you covered here. But the artwork here is just incredible. This is definitely a must-see in Lima.
The cathedral was a great way to spend some time here in the plaza, but isn't the only significant building in the square. Perpendicular to it is Palacio de Gobernador del Peru, the residence of Peru's president, which hosts a daily changing of the guard at noon. Next door to the palace is Plaza Peru, which features a very popular photo spot of a fountain with a Peruvian flag in the center, surrounded by gardens. There are a number of excellent photo spots in this plaza, especially with the incredible buildings surrounding it.
Well, it would have been just as easy to stick around at the airport and just take it easy until the evening flight. It was definitely worthwhile to come here to Plaza de Armas and really get a chance to enjoy this incredible architecture, get a chance to explore the cathedral, see the presidential palace, and it's a great atmosphere here. It's a great evening to come and visit. But Lima's not done just yet, because there's one last place to check, and that might be another opportunity for coasting.
Now you may be asking, wait a minute, didn't Dino Park say the coaster was closed? Unfortunately, they confirmed that the coaster was still closed. They did, but this is actually related to a different stop from the Great Lima Coaster Hunt. I did a bit more research and found their Facebook page. It mentioned the Jockey Exposition Center for their Carnival location, so I decided to scope it out. And as luck would have it, the Carnival was in operation, meaning there was another chance at redemption. There was a wide variety of rides here, and just as I'd hoped, there was a coaster. But there wasn't just a Wacky Worm style coaster, there were two of them, as if there hadn't been enough Wacky Worms in Peru already. But there was even more. They had a fairly rare model of coaster at this carnival in the form of a chance toboggan. I had never ridden one before, so naturally, it was the first ride of the night. As the sun went down, the lights of the rides would shine bright, and the air was filled with the sounds of laughter and screams. I was pleasantly surprised by the types of rides they had, as I expected mostly older rides, like their Roundup or their Zipper. But they had a selection of more modern rides as well. They also had a Tagada, which I couldn't pass up on. There were also 2 Wacky Worm style coasters to ride. One down, one more to go. This one had a dog theme to it though.
This was a very nice and pleasant surprise. The Carnival was open, as I had originally thought it was closed based on the previous location that I tried. On top of that, 3 credits in one stop. That's not very often you see 3 in one place. Kind of funny to have 2 Wacky Worms, but you know, you take what you can get when you go in credit hunting. So it's been a great way to wrap up the time in Peru, but now I need to get to the airport so I can continue the journey.
And that was the end of my time in Peru, the 3rd country of this South American trip. It was a great stretch of cultural experiences that included an overnight bus ride to explore a town with an incredibly unique sculpture park, a day trip that saw desert ruins of the past civilization, wandering through a city that blends its Incan and colonial heritage, and enjoying the main square of the nation's capital. Along the way, there were many coasters, including a crazy amount of Wacky Worm style coasters in the Lima area. But there were some more unique ones as well, such as a wild mouse themed after guinea pigs, or one of the rare chance toboggans still in operation. I would gladly come back to Peru, but for now, it's on to the next stop of this South American adventure. Thank you for watching this Coasting with Culture video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button below to see future videos here on YouTube, like these ones which you may enjoy as well. Additional content can be found at coastingwithculture.com, and you can also follow Coasting with Culture on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for announcements, previews, and updates. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, take care and safe travels.